and do our jobs. But I feel confident in the progress our coaches and kids are making. If we just play clean football, take care of things that we are able to control, turnovers, penalties, not getting behind the chains with holds, things like that, I like our chances in any game right now. So that's what we're stressing, take care of things we can take care of, play hard and execute. And if we do those things, I like our chances.
It's Clinton, Anderson County, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, down at Clinton. Come out, support your Mavs. If you can't make it out, we are on Rivalry Thursday tomorrow night. Show up early. There are going to be a lot of people there. Coach, we look forward to it.
Do you know if they're doing anything to get tickets online or anything?
Welcome to Graham's Gridiron Guidance. I'm your host, Coach DJ Pendergrass, here with the man, here with the myth, here with the legend, Coach Kwayu Graham. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing all right, my man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Blessings to see you today.
You too.
I like what you got on. What's your T-shirt you got there?
I don't know.
Under Armour All-American.
Yeah, one All-American.
That's
like
prestigious right there.
Yeah, they gave you a lot of stuff.
That's prestigious.
A lot more stuff.
That's how you got your own show, ain't it?
I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Nothing against the Army All-American Bowl, but was blessed enough to be a part of both of them. And Under Armour took care of us, man. You have a basket full of, a couple of things full of what you call them, the carry-ons and stuff. And we had so much
stuff. But you didn't have to give back.
No. And the funny thing was, they told you, ESPN and Under Armour scripted what you can wear. They even gave us underwear and socks.
Wow.
You couldn't wear glasses. You couldn't wear what they call them, slides.
Uh-huh.
They all had to be the same thing, and they scripted each day what you wore to practice and things you could wear around. It was a beautiful experience for me and my family.
Absolutely. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
Prestigious award. I told you, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm blessed to be right here beside you, Coach.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're here with me, man. This was a good week of football. Seen some great games this week.
Yes.
Even a middle school game, Robertsville and Jefferson was a good game. We'll talk about it later, a little later. I think I have them on my last week games. And the only thing I can say, and I'll probably say this again, 85 points.
Yeah,
between two teams.
That's a lot
middle
of
school teams. 85 points.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know Coach Derek Rang is licking his chops. That means they can put the ball in the end zone, man, and you got to get used to doing that.
Have you talked to Coach Rang? How's he doing?
I haven't talked to him after the game. I haven't had a chance to talk with him yet, but I'm pretty sure he's happy and relieved.
Absolutely.
Played a very fine team in Clinton. Away in a hostile environment for a rivalry game.
Yeah.
Your head coach is not there.
Right.
And so for him, I know it was tough, but for his team to persevere and get through it was big for him and just show where they're at as a program.
Absolutely. And I heard a lot of people talking about Coach Joe Gaddis stepping in. We had a lot of different vibes about that. But the greatest, coolest thing I found about it was the coaches, the assistant coach, was like, to be with another great one more time.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Well, knowing Joe, if you know him, and I say I know him, he really probably felt very uncomfortable with that. Joe thinks of others, and he just wouldn't want that. I'm pretty sure some of the naysayers, some of the negative that probably was out, we all heard it.
Right.
Joe probably thought of that before it would have, hey, what about this?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't want to bring any attention. He wouldn't want to take any attention from the program and what they're doing themselves. He understands that his role and his place with Oak Ridge Schools and Oak Ridge football and Oak Ridge athletic department. But I'm willing to bet. Haven't really talked to Joe about this, but I'm betting it was tough for him to say yes.
Right.
And just like you said, for the coaches to get all together and give him that opportunity and feel comfortable.
Right.
Coach Rain, Phil, you're talking about a Tennessee coaching legend taking over for you in a big game.
Right.
That's
awesome.
That's tough. So Coach
Rain,
Rain,
awesome.
Shout out to him too, because he has to have a lot of trust in himself and know what he can do
Right.
to give that coach that opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that's a testament to Coach Joe Gaddis's college degree. Was it like a psychologist or something? Sociologist,
If
one
it's
of
not
those?
that, it's car salesman. It's a bunch of things he can do. He can get you. He'll have you believe in whatever it is. Joe good, and he's a good football coach. He's a good football coach.
Well, Coach, we got a different script this week. We're going to start out with the cow this week. How about that?
That sounds good to me. 1, 2, 3.
Moo.
It just says that time. Check it out. Look
There
at
it
that.
is. There, we got some graphics now.
Oh,
Check us
man.
out.
It's the cow. It's the cow.
Hey, and it's for you. Thanks to you folks for tuning in. You guys are making this the better. The more you share it, the more you view, the greater it gets. So who do we have for the cow today, Coach?
We have my buddy. Well, both of them. Both coaches I respect a lot. My buddy, Coach Brian Pankey.
Pankey.
Coach Pankey at Kingston High School doing a great job. He too took over for a legend and got to come back home. And there's nothing like coming back home and coaching. And Coach Harry got allowed. So it's going to be a long-standing tradition game. This game has been, they renewed it recently, I think, a couple years ago. I think they were in the same region, but old-time football always remember the Kingston and Loudon game.
Absolutely.
I think we have Coach on the line.
All right, let's get him on.
Sorry, he didn't pick up. So.
Okay, well,
We got a small delay. We'll get him right back on
with
the
it.
line.
Yes.
Absolutely. But yeah, Kingston they had a solid program.
Yes.
And who they have? Kingston versus
it's Loudon.
it is Loudon.
It's
That's going to
Loudon.
be both of them are like 5-1, right?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I think they're
wouldn't
both
doubt it,
5-1.
And I know that the Kingston lost to a very good Meigs County. And it looks like it's letting back up. Is he on now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Now I tell you what, they got some good guys out there, and those big boys they have.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my!
Yes,
Those big boys they fight in the trenches, and they play the game of football.
Oh, it's old school.
Not
And-
today's football.
Oh, yeah.
They play the game of football.
It's old school, and Coach Pankey is that type of guy. You know, he was a great player himself from Kingston. Coach King was their coach, and Coach King was a tough guy. I coached against him when I was a coach at Austin East High School. And I have to say, their style of football haven't changed.
Absolutely
If you want
not.
to see some good old-fashioned football,
Absolutely
where they're going to hit
not.
you in the mouth,
Yeah.
and they're good guys. They'll pick you up and pat you on your back and get ready to hit you in the mouth again. That's the
Absolutely.
type of football that they play.
It's a solid community.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What I've seen, and I'm younger than you, right? But I still consider myself old school
Right.
because I can go back years of how many times I've been coaching over the years. But I still see parents letting the coaches coach.
Oh, man, yes.
Parents are
Yes.
still allowing and if Johnny ain't good enough right now, Johnny better practice more right now.
I call it, and don't get me wrong, I've said this before, and some people take it the wrong way because I really do appreciate the opportunity that's given the kids to play anything,
Absolutely.
whether it's 7-on-7 ball or AAU sports and things like that. But when you take on that mentality, you lose the art of the game and the community of the game. Those programs take kids from a bunch of places, put them together, usually your better kids. So they have an entitlement of achieving. If you make this team, then you're good.
Right.
So you have an entitlement to where you lose that work ethic. You start off at the bottom and you climb your way back up to
Absolutely.
the top. Places like the Kingstons, the Coalfields, they have communities that's their expectation.
Yes.
And now we live in a transient society. Everything moves fast. You have the portal in high school, basically, not high school.
It's coming.
It seems like
It's coming.
But you have the portal in college where kids nowadays and young men and young women nowadays can find that AAU, what fits, what's better for me.
Right.
And when in the old days, when you played for your community, that's what it was all about. It was about that community.
Absolutely.
And you were part of it. You were ingrained in that community, and those mothers, those fathers, and the grandparents, they all cheered you on, and you did it for your community. So that's the joy of having teams like Kingston and what they're doing. If you just go to one of their games.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, you can look at their high school game, you'll see the same people at their youth league and middle school game.
Oh, man, Coach. It is amazing.
It is.
It is. And even the Little League has that same passion. It's not Oak Ridge, but it's a tradition where they start at the Little League and they can't wait to be a Yellow Jacket in high school.
Yes, that's true. And has my buddy got on yet?
So Coach Panky, we haven't got it on. So since we haven't made it on right now, we're going to take this time at this moment just to pay a couple bills. We'll be right back.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Daniel Forrester has been trusted by Anderson County families for nearly 2 decades. Daniel has appeared in Anderson County Chancery, Circuit, Sessions, and Juvenile Court thousands of times over the past decade. A Rule 31 mediator, Daniel has been trusted to mediate hundreds of cases across Anderson County. A community leader, Daniel has worked closely with local officials to make Anderson County a better place. A conservative and dedicated husband and father, Daniel's faith has shaped his character and integrity. On March 5th, vote Daniel Forrester for Anderson County Chancellor.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is your one-stop shop for vehicle sales and service. The Duff family is open for business for everything automotive. We offer fully inspected, dependable pre-owned vehicles, and most come with a powertrain warranty at no extra cost. We also have a complete service department equipped for maintenance and repairs on all makes and models.
Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
Our story starts with a promise made to the communities of East Tennessee. A promise to always look forward, to the horizon, and past it. A promise to help you live well. At Covenant Health, whenever you enter one of our hospitals, visit any of our physicians, or talk to us on the phone, we will welcome you and your family as one of our own. Because it's about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Dad always worked hard, and even though he could never tell me exactly what he did at the lab, I knew he was doing it for us. He was always there for me. For all of us. But now it's my turn to keep him safe. It's good to know there's help.
To find out how to get all the benefits you or your loved one has earned with their medical benefits card, call the home option and see how we can help.
Welcome back to Graham's Gridiron Guidance. It's me, your host, Coach DJ Pendergrass, here with Coach Kwayu Graham. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well, still doing well.
So we didn't get Panky on the phone.
Not right now.
He's a legend following a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend.
And Kingston does have legendary roots through their community.
Yes, they do.
Anything about Loudon? Do we know anything specific about Loudon, their players or anything?
Well, Coach Herrick does a great job with them. One thing I know about them, they're going to be well coached and they'll be physical up front. Coach Herrick has done a lot of different things offensively. They can throw the ball, they can run the ball, and like I said, they'll be very well coached.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And speaking of the Kingston and the young man, you know, and I didn't. Sometimes when we in this platform, I always go back to when I was a coach, and there's a real life to being a high school coach or being a high school teacher. You're dealing with young men and women throughout the day, and you build relationships with them throughout. You watch them come in as freshmen, giddy and playful, and then you watch them talk to you as seniors with life opportunities, you know, and I just go back to Kingston coming into this season very excited about going to have a very good team, you know. Talk to Coach Panky and stuff, and they were really excited about coming to this year.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, tragedy hit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Tragedy hit, and it was it makes me as a father, number one, really, really think about life in itself. And Blazer Boumier, I hope I said it right. I think I said it right. Boumier was a stud. He was a star.
Yeah.
Young too. He wasn't very.
Too.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Yeah, he could play anything.
Yeah. He was the athlete.
He was that good. You know. And he just himself.
Yeah.
Magnified. Anywhere he was at, he was that guy.
Yeah, he was the glow.
He was the glow. Yeah. And to lose a kid like that, a young man like that, had to been detrimental to not just the city, the community, the players, but as a coach, you knew that kid potential. You knew his dreams, you know, and I give my condolences to his family and to the Kingston community, because they are a community.
Yes,
and it's the same hurt, the same pain all of us felt, you know. And I even my future daughter-in-law, I knew she felt it, you know. It was a hurt, because communities like that, there's a tie with everyone, you know, and that really hurt. And I know that they're starting a foundation, and soon as we get information on that foundation, when it strikes up, I will put it down on this show, on Graham's Gridiron Guidance.
You heard it here first, guys, and if you know anything about it, be sure when it's time to call in, give us some information.
Yes.
So, Coach, we know we get a lot of questions that call in, and sometimes I think they're mad because they don't get enough time to call in.
Yes.
But we don't spend enough time online.
Yes.
Do you have some online questions for us?
I did get some online questions. A good friend, one of my teammates, he was one of the first ones. He said, I can't get in to make the calls. I always miss it, but I want to ask this question.
Absolutely.
And the messenger thing on Facebook, I actually checked it.
Yeah.
Just looking around and I seen it on there, and that's going to be my first online question.
Coach, you know you gotta turn your notifications on to get those right.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll learn. I'm learning.
I keep mine off too.
You got that first question? There we go. Okay. I know there's a lot of disappointment come signing day with a lot of kids and parents assuming they still have scholarship offers. Can you explain the nuances between an offer and a committable offer coming from college?
Wow.
That was a teammate of mine, Sean Vickery, and a good friend of mine that asked that question. Sean,
good question.
It's a great question, and nowadays it's I liking recruiting like dating. You know, it's like going to the prom. You have that girl that's the prom queen. You want to ask her,
right?
All right, but it's your buddy in class too that
I want to ask her.
That you want to ask her because that's your friend,
Right,
and you have a better chance of her saying yes than the prom. And it works both ways. You know, what's happening right now is that because of the uncertainty due to the portal, the NCAA portal, that transfer portal, a lot of teams, and also because of technology with social media and the Twitter accounts and all the different ways for you to contact players. What coaches are doing now is stockpiling kids, and they may offer you. You go to a camp, they like you at camp, they want you interested in their school, we're going to offer you.
Right.
All right. And I'm glad he asked the difference between an offer and a committable offer. As soon as that kid get home or get to them 40 characters,
you got it.
Him and mama and grandmama and uncle and daddy, they gonna text little JoJo. I think the skies above that little JoJo got an offer from Georgia. And little JoJo second team for his on JV, you know, and it's not to that extent, but I want parents to think of it this way. If I can get you interested in my school,
that's right.
And if you think that there's an opportunity for you to come on a full scholarship, and this is not all, some of them there are actually committable offers, then as you wait for that time to come, it gets to where you lose opportunities.
Yes.
And when those opportunities come, and you know you had that offer, and you call that coach, one of the main things they say, and some of my coaching friends know this, we would love to have you, we just don't have enough room for you.
Yep.
Okay? But you still want to go there, so guess what you do? You find every loan you can to go to that school and try to play on that team. And the whole time their intent was to make sure you go to that school, pay for that school. And you know, some kids make it. Some kids make it. And but that's one scenario. The other scenario is it's a numbers game. They're going to offer you to make sure they have their numbers. Just like that date, that the prom queen, they're seeking that prom queen too.
Right.
And that prom queen may go to somewhere else. So it's a numbers list. My suggestion is to know and communicate. It's a business decision. You got to take it as a business decision. When you talk to these coaches, you need to say, how many players are at the position that you prospect that you see me playing, and you look and you research those players and you follow them and see where they're going and get an idea, because you have to know the numbers. How many quarterbacks are you taking? You know, because nowadays the higher you get, the older they want. And what I mean by that is the high school kid coming out of high school versus a 20-year-old.
Yes, that's already been.
That's already
college.
Yes.
Big difference.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
And if I can get that kid, and because of the transfer portal and the ability for them to play right now, then it's easier for me to scholarship that kid because he's already been proven.
And that coach ain't gonna be there long if he don't get his team together anyway.
Right. It's about now. Right. Everything is about now. You look at, I know he's the big hot topic right now, Coach Sanders.
Who was that?
Coach Sanders at Colorado. But you watch what he's doing now. What he's been able to do was he took guys that were older guys, but they may not have started for the school that was a major, let's say a Georgia. Right. He took the second team guard from Georgia to come there.
Who's a starter anywhere else.
Yes. Second team, that means a 3, 4, 5-star kid. Right. He's just second team.
Right.
He gets to start there. All right. Eventually, he's going to get guys that were starters at Alabama on the fronts and at certain positions to come there. Now, it's a few players that you want that are that good. That you want to sign a T. Higgins, it didn't matter.
That's right.
He was going to sign as a freshman. The young kid,
never going to be a red shirt.
Yeah, some kids that are ready to play now. So the difference, Sean, between an offer and committable is this: you are in those numbers that they have set aside scholarship money for. That's the difference.
And remember, it's also a business. So saying you're getting an offer, they already know that you're going to go put that on the social media platforms. That is easy promotion for those colleges. It is a business, and if you have a huge platform, people sharing it, more people see that logo, and more people want to be a part of that.
All right. What's the next question? I think I had two.
You had two.
Two. Okay. How can youth leagues be beneficial for high school pro? Good question. What should youth and middle school coaches do to prepare their players for high school? Oh, that's a real good question. Okay. How can youth leagues be beneficial for high schools programs? The biggest thing is to have an expectation and to promote your high school programs, And what I mean by promote is we want to see here positivity. You want to go out and make it big that Coach Ring at Oak Ridge.
Right.
Hey guys, that's Coach Ring right there.
Mm-hmm.
When he throws a camp, every player in the league is there.
Absolutely.
When they're having something at the school that invites the public, you're bringing your teams there. So the kids can see that this is big. This is a big deal, and that's one way. As far as programming and building a whole program, it's a lot of things going in that. First of all, there has to be continuity from the bottom to the top being the high school, the bottom being the youth program.
Right.
There has to be some type of a chain that can link each from the top to the bottom.
Right.
And one ways to do that is something as simple as, I know as a high school head coach, one thing that I always wanted for my youth coaches to do was to be fundamentally sound in a couple of areas. Stance, starts, tackling, ball handling.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it, we'll find it. We'll fix it.
Absolutely.
And you notice I didn't say blocking.
Mm-hmm.
You notice I didn't say throwing and being a good running back. No. Stance, starts, tackling because of safety.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing.
The true fundamentals.
That just true fundamentals of the game. Also, search some things like having an understanding, and this is on the high school coaches. Having a vocabulary of play schemes.
Mm-hmm.
Some coaches, as far as holes, and if you're a novice to football, it's where you want to run the football. Some teams to the right side have an even side, 2, 4, 6, 8. Some coaches, odd. Some coaches go A, B, C, D.
Right.
Some coaches go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right.
So it's different ways. It's just hole recognition.
Right.
It's different ways in how you label your positions in back. If you can have the same vocabulary,
lingo
from youth league to high school, then
that's
it helps the link.
That's the link.
Now for the high schools, they have to have some commonality in their coaching. You look at great programs, i.e. Alcoa, Coach Nix coached under Coach Rain. You look at the Fulton dynasty that was Coach Black coached under Buck Coatney, who played and coached under his dad.
Huh.
All right, so you see the links, the continuity. So those programs, a lot of people that work with their youth programs, guess where they played at? They played at those places. Merville. Coach Hunt played at, guess where he played at?
Merville.
Guess where he coached at?
Merville.
Exactly. So you start building the links to where those terminologies, they're the same. They don't change over time.
Right.
So
Right.
Coach Graham, how does that really affect it? Affect it in time. You don't have to go back. If I say 32 blasts in high school, and you ran 32 blasts for 9, I get call it 9U now. I used to call it Pee Wee's for 9U.
Right.
Guess what that kid that play running backs knows how to run?
He's linked up too.
He's linked up. He can run 32 blasts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of how you can merge those together and bring those together. Another great program, Anderson County. Guess where Gillum played at?
Negav.
In high school.
Anderson County.
Exactly. So just look at the links.
How old is Gillum?
I'm not telling Gillum's age. I know he's a lot younger than I am. So I'm not telling his age.
Gillum, if you played me, let me know, because I think I tackled you.
He was tough. He was tough in college too. He was a as they say, he's a bad man.
Bad man.
Bad man. Any other questions back there? Any other? Oh, I got another one. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I didn't even, okay. All right. When will you get back into coaching? That question is a higher power. I don't know. Truth of the matter was I had several opportunities before. One of those opportunities was a school it's several schools that I've always wanted to be a part of and that I thought fit me perfect. And one of them I did coach at, and that was Austin East High School. The other high school that I thought that fit me perfect was Tyner. And I was hired for the job, but that time in my life, I just could not make that move.
Understood.
And sometimes it's about timing. All things about timing. Because no matter what I want, could I give you full of me?
Right.
You know, and I don't, no one deserves half and it's not your fault. Sometimes other things take your time and things like that. But if I go somewhere, if I make that decision to give, because those are kids, I'm putting seeds in the ground.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
if I'm going to invest in that, then I got to fully invest. And at the times I haven't. But if God's will, do I miss being on the sideline sometimes? Yes. That's why I'm always over these schools. I hurry up and take the calls. Everybody got out that I coach at places. I guess that's why I go over there all the time, because I still want to be a part of it. And but I haven't had it yet. I'm just waiting for the coach telling me, hey man, quit hanging around our campus, you know. So, and believe it or not, it's not just Clinton. It's several schools that I find myself going around and hanging out at. And I actually do kind of coach. I coach at Concord.
Yes, yeah.
I coach at Concord.
Yeah.
So I do coach. I'm presuming that's being a head coach again is what I think that question was about. I'm assuming, but I do actually go out and coach with Coach Jay Graham, and it's been fun just watching those kids, watching the program being built. So I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, from ground up. And you know, I got to get the break, but to touch base on that question, because I know a lot more people want to know more on that question, although he's not on the sideline. You can always talk to Coach Graham. He's always going to coach you. A coach is a coach forever, no matter if he's on the sideline, no matter if he's in the classroom, no matter if he sees you in the middle of the street. So always love and respect what you have from him now and get as much out of him as you can, because he's still coaching, even if he's not on the sideline. We'll be right back.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Our story starts with a promise made to the communities of East Tennessee. A promise to always look forward, to the horizon, and past it. A promise to help you live well. At Covenant Health, whenever you enter one of our hospitals, visit any of our physicians, or talk to us on the phone, we will welcome you and your family as one of our own. Because it's about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Daniel Forrester has been trusted by Anderson County families for nearly 2 decades. Daniel has appeared in Anderson County Chancery, Circuit, Sessions, and Juvenile Court thousands of times over the past decade. A Rule 31 mediator, Daniel has been trusted to mediate hundreds of cases across Anderson County. A community leader, Daniel has worked closely with local officials to make Anderson County a better place. A conservative and dedicated husband and father, Daniel's faith has shaped his character and integrity. On March 5th, vote Daniel Forrester for Anderson County Chancellor.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is your one-stop shop for vehicle sales and service. The Duff family is open for business for everything automotive. We offer fully inspected, dependable pre-owned vehicles, and most come with a powertrain warranty at no extra cost. We also have a complete service department equipped for maintenance and repairs on all makes and models.
Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
Dad always worked hard, and even though he could never tell me exactly what he did at the lab, I knew he was doing it for us. He was always there for me, for all of us. But now it's my turn to keep him safe. It's good to know there's help.
To find out how to get all the benefits you or your loved one has earned with their medical benefits card, call the home option and see how we can help.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Welcome back to Graham's Gridiron Guidance. That's 3 G's, Coach.
3 G's.
We're going to call it 3 G's.
Yeah, or G cubed.
3G cubed, or the G cubed. I like that.
G cubed. Yeah, that's my
cubed.
mathematics. We had to do a little work today in class on that.
On the cube. So it's squared and it's cubed. So that means G to the 3rd power.
There we go.
There it is. There it is. So, Coach, last week, we had some good games.
Had some good games, starting off with that Jefferson-Robertsville game, 35-50.
Robertsville is the city champions. Congratulations to you. But you and I spoke in between in the break, and you said, Reigns was licking his chops. He got some good ones coming.
85 points.
85 points. He definitely has some good ones coming.
Yeah. They know how to get in the end zone.
Absolutely. It's a great group that they have on both ends there. Carter and Anderson County.
Anderson County's finding their groove. Anytime you lose that many players, your star running back was out for a little bit. You got a new quarterback, good one. He's a good ball player. Some new players. Then you got to find your niche. They're a very well coached team and one of my favorite programs, just overall programs in this area.
Absolutely. At Sequatchie, Cofield 31-14.
Yeah, Cofield has been playing great ball. So Sequatchie must have a great team because they went to it was at Sequatchie. So Cofield went there, and it was probably a tough game. I would love to see what happened because I know Cofield is going to be in contention this year.
On the Facebook, I seen a lot of people talking about that game, and they was talking like Cofield was entering a tough game. So it looks like that's what happened.
It must have a great
Oakdale versus Harriman with a game.
That was a good game, man. Like I say, Oakdale has a kid that's become one of my favorite players. He's a receiver. think it's Cooner is his name. Cooner is something like Cooner, something like that. He's a heck of a ball. They have several good ball players, and Herman has some young guys that can play.
Man, Herman reminds me of Clinton when Coach Keith first got out there.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they are right there.
I agree.
They got a hump to climb over. Rockwood and Kingston.
Kingston, nothing to play with. I'm just saying that.
Flat out.
Yeah.
Shout out to the big guys in the trenches. Definitely number 77 out there in Kingston.
Yes.
You guys are kicking butt out there. Keep going. Midway and Jellicoe.
Jellicoe, the games that I've seen with Jellicoe, and I went back and watched one of their games. They played someone, maybe it wasn't Oakdale, maybe an Oneida or something. It was someone they played earlier in the season, and I went and watched that game on YouTube, and not a bad team. They played close games. They played close games, and that whoever they were playing, I can't remember, but it was very close to the end.
Man, Midway and Jellicoe, 22-20. That's the games that you want to pay to get in and play. Sunbright still building their program, sort of like Concord. Oliver Springs knocked them off pretty good. I do want to give a shout out to that quarterback. That quarterback probably put up the best numbers he had this year, considering the competition. But he had a well game, and I'm pretty sure number 66, Jonah Robbins, had a lot to do with protecting him back there.
Oh yeah, he's special.
Oneida and Greenback.
Wow, that was shocking. Oneida has a fine ball club, and they're going to continue to get better, and this is going to be a great race to the end. I know Cofield already beat them early, but the battle for that number 2 position to get you a home playoff game is always key.
Absolutely. Wartburg and Eagleton, Coach, 20-21.
Another close one.
Another close game. This was a good week of ball.
Oh yes.
And the game of the week last week, our Cal of the week, last week, Clinton and Oak Ridge, 24-37, Oak Ridge favored, missing the head coach, Coach Rang. Clinton came out fighting. I was able to attend that game. They came out fighting from the beginning to the end, like we've always said. And, I've talked about to other people and on Facebook and in other interviews about, Clinton has Power 5 guys. Do they have the coaches that are putting them in Power 5 positions? Or do they have the right play calls? Is it the coaching? From what I've seen, it's none of the above. What I've seen is Clinton has the guys. They have the dudes. They have a roster of, I think, 50 players. I believe if Clinton don't play so many people on both sides of the ball for 4 quarters, that's a closer game than 24-37.
Well, the thing with Clinton, whenever you're a rising program, you go through growing pains.
Right.
You lose big, then you learn to lose small, then you win big.
Right.
I mean, you win small, then you win big. That's part of programming, And for the Oak Ridge kids, number one, it shows some maturity and moxie for them and their staff to have a change, immediate change, where your leader is not there.
Right.
I know you have a Hall of Fame coach that took his place, but it still shows moxie and just shows where your program is at. That game, I was on my way to Austin East homecoming. I was either going to do that or sit out in the back porch on a beautiful day. And because I got out late, I forgot that the plant traffic wasn't there on Fridays. And I said, well, I can't make it I won't find a parking spot. I know how homecoming is at Austin East.
Right.
And I can't find a parking spot. So I hung around the house, and my mom kept telling me that her and Miss Coke with them, they getting ready to head to the game. And I think it was her way to get it. She would say no, but I think it was her way to get me to go. And plus, the kids at Oak Ridge, I see them every day, so we get a chance to watch them play. But my relationship with Coach Keith, he's a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, and they have just lost a big game to Powell, and just to be there, just so he can see that I was there in support, was big for me. And I had to think sometimes it's not about you.
Absolutely.
And I went there, and I'm glad I did, because it was a great football game. If you're a coach, or you not even coaching, if you just like football, the physicality, the perseverance on both teams to turn the ball over and then make a stop and back and forth and things like that. And if you look at what I said, the keys to win, I think someone told me, hey, I watched your show and you was pretty much right. The punter for Oak Ridge, the kicker punter, I think it's the same kid. was big. One of the things I said was that they have to win that, you know, and they did. They did a good job. They did a good job of covering. Jeremiah Lee is one of the top returners returning back this year in this area, and he could take the ball the distance.
Yeah, he can.
You know, and so it was a great game, a physical game. My favorite part of the game was I seen linemen hit each other, you know, pancake each other, get up and slap each other on the pad. Good job. And that right there showed me that this is what it's about, you know, and the adults have the hostility, but the players went out there and played football.
Yes, they did.
And that's what it's about.
Yes, they did. And you know what? I like what Oak Ridge did with their defense. They are interchanging kids, switching schemes, putting fresh legs out there. And again, I think was the end result why adrenaline rush is on. It's not going to last 4 quarters.
No, it's not.
Right? And I think Clinton did everything they were supposed to do. I think they came out with a great game plan. I even think it was executed. Again, I just really think 4 quarters of ball against a big roster that Oak Ridge has with fresh legs coming in and out, especially on defense, was a difference in that game.
Yeah, it was one thing. It was one thing. Dozier was another thing. he was another thing.
Does he have any offers, Coach?
That I'm not sure of.
So I heard he had one from App State. Right,
that's a great school. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. When I talk to Dozier, it's about make sure he get his grades right.
Well, you know what? I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I hate to do it, Coach. By the way, guys, the lines are open. We want to take your phone calls. I know you have questions for Coach Graham, the guru. Make sure you call in. The number's on the screen, 865-483-8112 or 866-412-8112. And so it is believed that if the talent of Dozier was in Clinton, he'd have a lot of offers. Do you believe that?
I don't know. I don't know. I do know this, not because I know this. That I know Coach Keith. I know what he does. He talked to me on how to do it. You know, I know Eric Thomas, Oak Ridge staff, has talked. We've talked, and I know that Oak Ridge and Coach Rain has really pushed recruiting and getting kids opportunity. And people have to understand it's kind of who you know. It's kind of a system to it. At the running back position, it's so hard. It's a political deal. You look at the kid out of McCallie, the running back out of McCallie has 0 offers, and you watch him against Brentwood Academy and then you like,
how this kid does
it?
Right.
And it just a lot of things go with that. I say this. Dozier will have an opportunity. And we talked about this earlier. Some of the bigger schools, recruitment starts 10th, 11th grade, but nowadays a lot of those schools are getting kids that are already playing.
Yeah.
They're, and especially at positions that's a need right now.
Right.
That's a right now need. It's not a developing need.
Right.
And running back is not. Now, saying all that, it still doesn't stop Dozier from having an opportunity to get offered a scholarship from maybe a major college school or just getting a chance. And the smart thing now is because of the portal, he's a little undersized, at right around 5'10". I would say if he's at 200, looking at him, he may be a little under 200.
Right.
Don't know his field speed, but I know he's just a heck of a running back.
Right.
He can go to a school, let's say a Tennessee Tech, let's say a Tennessee State. He can go play at that school,
get primed,
and show what he's worth. And now he's one of those older kids that can go into the portal.
So you paying attention to
take opportunities that you have.
Coach, he coaching right now. You better be listening. We got a call, Coach. Let's take the call. Thanks for calling in to Graham's Gridiron Guidance. Who do we have on the phone today?
This is Mr. Harvest here.
Oh, Ellery Harvest.
How you doing?
How you doing? What's going on, Coach?
Hey, man, what's going on? What question you got for me today?
Yeah, the question I got now. anybody think Clinton's at the playoff?
No. Nobody think that.
No. Right now, Clinton has a chance. If Clinton just do what they're supposed to do and continue to improve, even with the Anderson County game, I would say that they, no doubt about it, they have the team to beat anyone in 5A football.
Yeah.
They have the Jims and Joes to beat anyone in 5A football.
Believe it.
Offensively, last year they were the top. They only lost 2 or 3 kids, and they were good now, but they had one of the top offenses in all of 5A football, and they dang sure got a guy that can spin it. and Oak Ridge did a great job of trying to keep him within the pocket. So they just need to keep winning the game that they should win.
That's right.
Finish second in the region and have a number 2 come second in the region and get a home game. And that's all you. I remember when I coached at Austin East, our region was so tough with Austin East Catholic, Fulton, and Anderson County, and Kingston had a good ball club too, that we kind of wanted to play. I didn't want to be number 2 just the way I am, but some coaches would try to have that number 2 slot because you knew that your region was going to win and you were going to play another one of your region teams in the second round, one of the lower bracket teams in your region in the second round. Mm-hmm. So we were going to beat, our 4th team was going to beat the other region's 1 team. So number 2 wasn't bad, and it set us up to make it to the 3rd round almost every year, even whether we was 1st or 2nd. And so that's what I think that Oak Ridge, Coach Gaddis said this at the beginning of the season, just watching them. He said this. He said, you know what? Those 2 teams are going to play twice. I'm willing to bet that Oak Ridge and Clinton play in the 3rd round this year.
And I tell you what, for all those Clinton fans, look, it's just like a movie being made, right? So you got your story, you got the plot. There's always going to be a climax. Then there's always going to be a decline. Then there's going to be an ending. Stay tuned for Clinton's ending. Coach, you have anything else for Coach Kwayu?
Yeah.
What other question you have, sir?
So they can play in the 3rd round. Yeah.
Yes, it would be in the 3rd round if they were to meet. If they fit, now that's a bunch of ifs. If both teams finish where I project them to finish, they will meet each other in the 3rd round if they both can win the 1st and 2nd round, of course. That's where they will meet. If Oak Ridge finishes 1, Clinton finishes 2, they will meet each other again in the 3rd round.
That way we could be the spoiler.
That's a great chance of that. Yes.
Did he say we?
He said we. He's a Keith guy now.
He's a Clinton Dragon.
He's a Keith guy.
Shout out to the Dragon fan. Thank you for calling in. You have any other questions for Coach Graham?
That way we could be the spoiler.
That's right, man.
Thank you for calling in. Guys, the phone line's still open, 865-483-8112, or you can call toll free at 866-412-8112. Somebody's looking for a spoiler.
He's a huge Coach Keith fan, and he's a loyal. He's been there with him. He's one of the ones that built that game. It's about four people.
Yeah, he keeps it high.
That built that game.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Frank's Master Cut Barbershop, because that's where it all got started at, quite honestly. Coach Gaddis, he put his mix in it too. And they built that game up, and both Oak Ridge and Clinton athletic departments should be very proud because they're making a lot of money off of that game.
You say Ellery's Flavor the group, right?
Oh, no, it might be Shrimp.
It might be Shrimp.
Clarence Street. It's one of them. But between those 4, Coach Keith, Coach Gaddis, Clarence, and Ellery Harvest, they have built they have restored the rivalry.
Well, I tell you what, we're talking about Clinton. They got a week 7 coming up with Anderson County. Are they ready?
I think with the games that they played, let's look at who they played. They played Cleveland. Go look at their record.
Yes.
They played West. Go look at their record.
Yes.
They played Oak Ridge. Go look at their record.
Yes.
They played Powell. Look at their record.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So they played tough games.
Absolutely.
Anderson County started off tough, but guess what? go look at the teams they played records.
Absolutely.
You know, and the teams that they lost to record.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a good game, a game that's, once again, Anderson County has championship pedigree.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and they have a coaching staff
yeah.
that's been together and worked together for numerous years.
And they have a community.
Yes, they have a community that has a lot of support
Yes.
and used to have great expectations, but been there through tough times too.
That's right. That's right.
So it's at Clinton. It will be a great game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bet you. that there will be a trick play. I'm willing to bet you that the things, if I was coaching at Clinton, one thing that I would advise is this: the things that have gotten you beat, fix them, because if not, they're going to take advantage of you. That's what great programs do.
Right.
All right. And for Anderson County, don't take their record lightly. This team is dangerous and explosive.
Absolutely.
They have them hymns.
Absolutely.
All over the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, and don't forget, them some good old tough guys down there.
That's right.
From Clinton.
That's right.
They have some good old tough young men.
That's right.
That when they weight room. That when you put them in the corner, they'll come out fighting.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
And so it should be a good game. It should be a game that the community enjoys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it a game, a football game.
Absolutely.
Come to the game, play hard, shake hands, go home.
Absolutely.
A lot of people in Oak Ridge fans take this Clinton and Oak Ridge thing. I mean, I know, but Clinton and Anderson County.
Oh, it's 10 times deeper.
That's
10 times deeper.
And I just hope we have a beautiful night of football, and that both teams play hard, and at the end of the game, shake hands and go home.
Fans, come out to that game. We know it's going to be a great game. We know it's going to be a competitive environment. But the great thing is going to be so much diversity out there. It's going to be you rooting for not only your team, but you're rooting for Anderson County as a whole. Have some class at the end of that.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. Oakdale versus Coalfield. Now, before you answer any questions on this, Coach, or give me your predictions. Oakdale, do they have any injuries going on?
I haven't heard. I
feel like they started strong, and I feel like they're going on the decline of the climax.
Well, I mean, they won against Herman last week, and Herman has athletes, and what Oakdale does is more finesse. So it may have been, turnovers that kept giving Herman opportunities. I don't know. I didn't really watch that game yet, but I do know that they have some explosive players.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Phone line's still open, 865-483-8112, or you can call toll free at 866-412-8112. Now, our game of the week next week is Loudon at Kingston. You can catch that game right here on Channel 12. That will be right here. So that's Loudon versus Kingston. Game time starts at 7 o'clock. Game is going to be at Kingston, I believe. Is that game at Kingston?
Yes, it's at Kingston.
Game is going to be at Kingston. So kickoff at 7 o'clock. You can get 7:30. And you can, the broadcast starts at 7 o'clock. 7:30 is kickoff. And make sure you guys tune in if you can't make it. If you can make it, get out there and support that game. It's going to be a great game, Coach.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great game. Who you got there? Loudon and Kingston. Kingston's handling business.
I have Kingston, Loudon coming to Kingston. And we talked about the fan base, and they've been in it.
Absolutely.
Kingston has played some good ball teams, and they've been in it.
Absolutely.
Even in Meigs County, it was more to it than what the score indicated. I think something happened. I think may have an injury or something.
Right.
But it was more to it than the score indicated. So I'm going with Kingston. A lot of respect for Loudon, but they're the home team. When you have two good teams, you go with the home team.
Hey, you Redskins better be loud from Loudon. Let's bring it. Good luck to you guys, and I got Kingston as well. Midway at Olive Springs.
Midway impressed me early also. I think that was a school. I think it was them that played Jellicoe or someone. It was one of those schools, but Olive Springs is starting to come into their own. They won a big game. And we know that they can score points. That offensive front, defensive front has been playing very well.
Yeah. Oak Ridge versus Knox Central.
tough. Oak Ridge goes out there. I'm willing to bet you that after that Clinton game, Oak Ridge is a little banged up. You know, just hearing some of the players and kids in school talk. But I think they'll go to Central. The biggest thing there, teams like Central, those Knoxville teams, they're going to come back. They're going to be physical. All right, and Oak Ridge cannot let a team like that hang around.
Absolutely. Then I'm going to skip Alvin C. York because we only have about 30 seconds here. I'm going to skip over to Greenback and Rockwood. One reason is because I want to give a shout-out to Griffin Metcalf, 6'6", 250 pounds. He is getting some offers. He's a DN, and he's killing it over there in Rockwood, Coach.
That's great. Hopefully a senior. He'll play in that the rivalry showcase all-star game. I'm starting to get all those coaches sending their info in, and pretty soon I'm say this because I know Coach Panky just called me and said the show over yet. It was an emergency that he had to deal with.
Okay.
But Coach Dykes, who's actually he's one of our partners with the show.
Scotty Dykes.
But he actually when he referred his players, he referred them to Knoxville. So Coach Gaddis and Coach Panky and Mark Packer and I, we've been riding about it. And he's actually one of the coaches on the east side for the East Tennessee team. And he nominated his players for Knoxville. So we're glad that Cobb County has joined Knox County schools.
Absolutely. Hey, you heard it here first. You gotta sign on. Make sure you tune in. Folks, we greatly appreciate you staying involved, staying locked in. Make sure you share this. Make sure you tell somebody. I'm Coach DJ Pendergrass. This is Coach Kwayu Graham. We appreciate you. We love you. See you next Wednesday, 8 p.m.